Jaylen, you've talked a lot about how much you enjoyed this season and how much you like this team. How will losing a 3-1 playoff lead reshape the way you look back on this, if at all, and how do you want to reflect on this journey?
Great season. Obviously, it didn't finish the way we would have liked. I give credit to Philadelphia. I watched them get better as the playoffs went on, but just from our guys to come out for Game 7 and play with that level of intensity, play with that level of trust, that's the style that, we felt like we've been doing all year, and I loved it. It was a pleasure. Each and every one of those guys I've watched develop, get better, and step up in big moments and help us win games. Tonight we came up a little bit short. The fourth quarter we had some great looks that I wish would have went down, but nothing to hang my head over. Nothing for our team to hang our head over.
Jaylen, you guys didn't score. You scored 100 fewer points in 4 of the 7 games in this series. I know the shots have to fall for the points to be on the board, but was there something about your guys' offense that wasn't able to play the same way as the regular season? Like, what did you see that led to some of those offensive struggles outside of just the missed shots?
Say that again. So we said 4 games out of 5.
4 out of 7, you guys were at 100 points or fewer, and like I said, like the shots have to go in, and you guys missed some open looks. But outside of that, was there something about the way they were defending you, or your guys' offensive process that you think didn't match what it was?
This is the playoffs. They're a good offensive team. It's not the regular season, we had to adjust throughout the series, and stuff like that, and different lineups, different adjustments, and it just didn't go our way. But the style we played tonight, I think that, that's a great style. How we just played fast and freer. I think we played a little bit more pace than we had in the previous games. And, I felt great about how our team responded. Obviously down one of our best player, our, superstar, Jason Tatum, wasn't there, which could have helped. But I'm proud of my team.
Jaylen, how do you define success and failure? Like, do you view any season that falls short of a title as a failure? Peyton was talking about how he looked at it as a stepping stone to the next title, and that's kind of how the paradigm through which he views things. Like, how do you look at this type of postseason?
I mean, it's hard to reflect on it just right now because it's so fresh in the moment. But, obviously this organization is used to playing later into the season. I think this is my first time, having a first-round exit. But, this season, what the expectations were and how we came out and we rose to meet that level of uncertainty with this group. There's nothing more I could ask for. I had a great time with my teammates. We played hard. I feel like we left it all out there tonight, and we came up short.
Jaylen, you guys had opportunities throughout this series to kind of close it out, knowing that this is there are going to be changes to the roster. Is there any feeling of like regret or anything like that you guys had missed an opportunity to extend this and continue playing with these guys?
No feelings of regret whatsoever. Obviously, we would have liked to close it out and winning 5 games or winning 6 games, but Philadelphia is a good basketball team, and they've gotten better since the regular season. Embiid is playing at a high level, and it's the playoffs. We knew it was going to be a fight, and we didn't expect nothing less. Nothing to hang our head over. I got no regrets. I don't think my teammates should have any regrets. We had good games. We had bad games. That's the storyline, and we had an opportunity to win tonight, and we just came up short.
Jaylen, when did you find out about Jason being able to have to sit out tonight? And obviously, you guys started made pretty big radical change with the starting lineup. Group hadn't played all season together. How did that kind of go from your vantage point?
I found out probably like 45 minutes before the game. Nobody told me anything, which but mindset was the same.
And then Joe tonight also threw a lot of obviously was mixing and matching a lot. You talked about the pace you guys played of playing small a lot. Do you wish you guys kind of tried that maybe a little earlier in this series of just going small? Obviously, with Embiid back, he seemed to just change complexion of the series.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. Embiid put a lot of pressure on us, like on all our bigs and our guards. Like, you know, we didn't really have an answer for him. We tried a bunch of different things, and you know, he's a big body. And he just, you know, he also was flopping around. He got some extra calls and stuff like that, you know, and they rewarded him for that. But, you know, that's the league that we're in. So, you know, I mean, that's all I got to say.
Jaylen, you had said earlier about the gap, like, this was a gap year. Like, you kind of used that as kind of fuel. Is there a level of maybe not regret but disappointment that you guys couldn't build on what you did in the regular season? And do you guys in the future have to change maybe and tweak the style that you play to maybe get farther?
Tonight, I wish we played that style and trusted that style more, even throughout the playoffs, even through wins and through losses. You know, obviously, it's not always the easiest decision, but I wish that style for our team was how we empowered the rest of our group. And you saw tonight how everybody came out and they played their tail off. I wish we trusted that more.
And in terms of just the future, does this motivate when you get a healthy Jason back after obviously 4 or 5 now months off? You're going to get into the lab. Is it tough to think about next year, or are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to think about next year, next season. I got emotions from just tonight, you know. Overall, you know, I feel like I said before, it was a great season. I think I'm proud of my teammates and just their growth from, you know, guys of, you know, coming from different organizations or guys who haven't really played a lot or who stepped up big in these playoffs and who stepped up big in the regular season and helped us get to the position that we're at. That's what it's about, man. I'm so grateful to be with this group. This group was awesome. I had a fun year. This is probably one of my most fun years playing basketball. You know, it wasn't always perfect. It wasn't always analytically, you know, aesthetically pleasing. But we won a lot of basketball games, and people could see the grit and the fight that we play with every single night. And tonight was an example of that. We left it all out there. We played 5 small guys. We played a rookie. We played whatever. And we scrapped all the way to the end. Just came up a few plays short.
Julian, I'm back here from the Globe. I was just curious. I was going to ask about just the mindset.
Jaylen Brown said he found out that Jason Tatum was not playing 45 minutes before the game started. Do you think that was a personal decision based on how Jason was feeling, or do you think that was a team decision?
Really don't know. I mean, that could have went either way. It could have been a joint decision, or it could have been Jason's or the team's. But I mean, I think it was probably for the best just to play things safe.
Questions for Joe, beginning with Jack.
Joe, you rolled out a different starting lineup in this one, ended up circling back to the guys in the fourth quarter that you went with for most of the series. What went into that decision for the start of the game, and then throughout the game, what did you see that made you do the rotation changes you did?
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was a couple of things we saw tactically we wanted to test out. You know, obviously give the series a little bit of a different feel, and take advantage, you know, of the roster that we've had, and you know, and take advantage of the guys that can impact plays and whatnot. So, thought it was great by the guys, and we came up short.
Joe, what did you see from your group down the stretch there in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys were right there for a long stretch, but the shots just stopped falling.
Yeah, I mean that's just that simple. I mean, obviously, you know, you take a look at it. There's plays that we could have done, you know, maybe defend without fouling a little bit better, not put them at the free throw line, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I thought we competed like hell defensively, and I thought we had a couple of great looks to take the lead or get there, and we just didn't make them. But credit to the guys being down in the second half and battling back to that. You know, it's watching the guys just compete the way they did. You know, it's important to me, and I appreciate that.
As soon as it is to be asking this, what will you remember most fondly about this group and the season that they had?
I mean, I think just who they are as competitors. I mean, I think that's it. And again, listen, like, This isn't, when you don't win a championship for the Celtics, there's always going to be, a level of we have to do better. But at the same time, regardless of what was going on, we came in with that type of mentality. I thought we came in with the championship mentality from the beginning of the year. And I thought the guys just put their head down and went to work. And, I'm grateful that I got to coach them.
You guys fell behind by a lot and were sort of desperate trying to come back there. What did you see about them trying to turn it sort of into a war of wills? And what did you think that said about this team?
In the second half?
In the fourth quarter, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, again, I at no point during that game did I think we were going to lose it just because of who they are as competitors and what they've done throughout the entire year. And, I thought we had 2-3 great looks, and we just didn't knock them down. But, the result of that is not going to get in the way of who they are as competitors and what they've done, this game, but also what they did throughout the season.
Joe, the 4 games you lost in this series, you're below 30% from 3. Obviously, a lot of missed shots to close this game, close Game 5. Do you think you guys became too reliant on jump shots falling into this series here?
No.
And why do you feel that way?
I thought we did a great job reading the 2-on-1s, taking what the defense gave us, and in the games we lost, the other team shot over 38% from 3, and so you got to make shots. You have to be able to do that. Something we've done well, something we do well, and we just didn't. And I thought they did a good job throughout the the series, later games of making them. And so, love the looks that we got, love the process that we had, but hate the result.
Hi, Joe. It's Julie. A lot of the things that were your strengths during the regular season, the offensive rebound and the second chance points, the points off turnovers, and the forcing turnovers, like Philly just seemed like they kind of clamped down towards the end of the series, just limiting offensive rebounds, not allowing second chance, just really being physical about not allowing offensive rebounds. I guess how much more difficult did it make them to solve as far as?
Well, to kind of Bobby's point about those things you do to try to eliminate the variance, right, and have the variance go in your way by getting extra possessions, by making sure you don't turn it over, and so you want to be able to, when you're not being able to make shots, get those things through offensive rebounds. And so, it was a battle of the wills, and today we had 10. I thought we could have got a couple extra ones, but I thought they did a good job taking that away. And when you do that, that's where you have to Bobby's question, you got to make shots. You have to be able to do that. And we got some great ones, and we just didn't make them. Yeah. Yeah. What part? Oh, yeah. That's a great question, and I think in a lot of times in the world today it's an either-or society, but there's a duality to everything. And, the year we won, I felt just as empty as we did when we lost. And the duality of going after something bigger than yourself with a group of people is you're always going to have, there's two sides to every coin, and you have to, when you go after greatness, you have to accept the other side of that. And too many times, it's all about winning, but you have to surrender to the idea if when you're going after that, you're going to fail. And we've failed by not winning, but we stick to the process of being able to do that. But I think that's just kind of the duality of how things work. It's not an either-or thing. It's both and you feel both of those things.
Joe, we talk about the missed shots, but obviously a lot of other things kind of transpired in this. So what changed between the playoffs and the regular season?
Nothing really. I mean, what changed in the series was Joel Embiid came back, and they're a completely different team. And that's what changed in the series. And as far as the regular season and the playoffs, nothing changed.
Joe, this team was unique from the start in that it felt like every night it was a different hero, a different guy breaking through and having like a career moment. When it came down to the playoffs, to the fourth quarter of tonight's game, to the starting lineup, was it hard to figure out how to push the right buttons, because they're all year you had 82 games to do that, but now you only have 7 games, and we can sit here and say, oh, Peyton looked great, Baylor looked great, this guy looked great, but there's only 5 guys to be on the court. How challenging was that to have truly 13 guys who contributed to winning all year? And
it wasn't, and I think too many times pushing the right button gets linked to a positive result, and at the end of the day, it's about pushing the right button to process of put you in position to win, and that's always the goal. And The locker room, whoever's out there puts us in position to win and has a chance to win. And I think you just keep it. We've always kept it as that, you know.
Joe, was asking this team to regain the identity it had the first 60 games without Jason, was that for a Game 7? Was that asking too much?
No. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I think, again, the regular season is about having a bunch of different identities, and I think that's kind of was the strength of ours. You know, we played double big at points throughout the season. We played small. We changed the starting lineup. I mean, we went through just a bunch of different identities to prepare yourself to have to be able to go to different stuff. And tonight was just another opportunity to do that, and we developed a bunch of different identities throughout the year. And you saw a few of those, and one of those, the zone, and one of those things kind of gave us a shot tonight, and, you know, we just came up short.
Will there be a review of how you got the style? I mean, if it's so blatant where you hit three-pointers, you win, and you miss three-pointers, you lose, like, can you live with that? Can you just continue to do that?
I mean, we're always going to play to the strength of what our roster is. I think is the best way to be able to do that, you know. And again, you know, if you take a look at the box score, they shot 39% from three. So I think going back to duality, it's always funny when, you know, we lose games by shooting 26, but the other team shoots 39, and they're like, you know, what are you going to do about it? It's like, well, the other team made 39. You know what I mean? So the duality of, like, you got to make them. They shot 40% from the game. We shot 26. But we're always going to play to the style of the strengths of the roster that we have and whatever that looks like. You know, if we go out and get 5 big men that can post, we'll post it every single time. You know, we go out and get, you know, a bunch of guys that do whatever they do. We'll do whatever we got to do to win, you know.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.